Guys, welcome to Chris's Daily Dynamite, short, sharp videos ready to explode your business and boom your income. I hope you're all well. Right, today is the last of the speakers, so the second half, if you like, the three speakers from the Kleeneze conference, Lifestyle Without Limits at Bolton, weekend before last now. And the third speaker, the first speaker in the afternoon, was a lady called Boardman. And she had a really interesting story. She started off quite well. She started with her son just to earn a little bit of extra, help him kind of earn some money for college, for university, that sort of thing. And then she had a really tough year. She had some illness. She ended up needing brain surgery, and then her husband died. So, crikey, anybody who's gone through that in a year would, you wouldn't blame them for dropping back a little bit. And she kind of battled on through all of that, and she had a little acronym that she used that just kind of helped her go through that, and I thought that was worth sharing. She said, to succeed, you need a budgie. She's got a bit of a giggle from everybody. And the budgie, basically B-U-D-G-I-E. So she said, B was you need to believe that you can achieve this. You need to believe in the business. U is understand. You need to just understand what you need to do. It's not difficult, a business, but make sure you understand it. And then you need to have dreams. You need to have a dream for where this is going to take you. Why did you join? If it was just for an extra £50, or if it's looking for something, that fantastic holiday, or allowing you to quit your dead-end job, or whatever it might be. And you will grow by attending the conferences, reading the books, and so on. The whole one of the biggest benefits from Kleeneze, she was saying, was that how you grow as a person. So growing was the G. I was to inspire. So once you start to get a team and you've got your own story and you're explaining to your team how you've kind of grown in the business, you can inspire them and then excite them, by kind of doing lots of activities, qualifying for the conferences, showing them how they can qualify for the conferences. You will excite your team, and all of those things together will lead to success. So that was a great little talk by Karen. The next speaker after Karen was a chap called Gary Watson. Gary's a Geordie lad, so I really love a Geordie accent, and he was just kind of talking about his story. He started the business in 1995, so quite a while ago now. He's doing very well. He started off, basically he was a labourer in a dead-end job in a factory. He just kind of thought he'd be doing that for the rest of his life, but he wasn't happy with it. One of his favourite quotes that he talked about was that tough times don't last, but tough people do. And that can be said of so many people in Kleeneze that have had to battle through a tough time and they've come out the other side stronger. When he first started off, he used to go to the Kleeneze conferences whenever they announced the new destination, and he just sort of thought, oh God, I don't know that I can ever qualify for a Kleeneze conference. It just seems so hard or so far away. He never seemed to kind of get going. And then one day he sat down with his sponsor, and they talked about putting together a 90-day plan. Basically, that was just for 90 days, take massive action. So all of the team building activities, doing extra retail yourself, but all the team building activities as well. Just really throw yourself into that. And what he found with that was that momentum. What had been holding him back was just sort of thinking he didn't really know what to do. But by committing to doing this thing for 90 days, by the end of the 90 days, he'd learned so much, and his team had started to grow, and he was earning so much more money. The momentum then just carried him forward from one success to the next. So he said, if anyone's looking to go on one of these conferences or just wants to move up the next level in the business, speak to your sponsor about a 90-day plan. And I totally agree with that. If anyone's interested in any of the stuff that we've been talking about, have a chat with me and I'll explain what we mean by that. Then the final speaker was Jackie White. Jackie and her husband Peter, one of the top distributors in the company. They've got a really interesting story. They were, I think Jackie was a sales, and her husband Peter was a coach driver, and they were both made redundant within a week. Now, for most people, that would be so scary, but they kind of grabbed into Kleeneze, jumped onto it, and they've just gone. They've got a really successful business now, and I guess they could say being made redundant was the best thing that ever happened to them. Jackie's talk was about how you can have a fantastic lifestyle. And he said the first thing you need to think about is what does that mean to you? If you were to think about what would be a fantastic lifestyle, is it having property, having houses, nice cars, having great holidays, maybe all of those? But to have that kind of lifestyle without limits, which was the phrase that Kleeneze were using when promoting this, to have lifestyle without limits, you need to be a no limits person. And what does that mean? Well, no limits people overcome challenges, they create plans and they stick to them. And one of the things Jackie said was they lead the way through adversity. If you're having a tough time and you can kind of lead the way through it, you can set an example for your team members and they will follow you through their own adversities as well. And she said, remember that things take time. None of these things happen overnight. You might find that you're taking all the actions, doing everything that you've been told to do. It doesn't seem to be happening. But there's a lot of foundations being set there, and suddenly you never know when it will take off. And she said, just finally, greet each day with huge expectations and a clear sense of direction. And I thought that was just a nice little way to finish that off. So I hope you've had a feel for the speakers at the Kleeneze conference. There's absolutely nothing what I've said is as good as obviously being there with them and getting their kind of their excitement and seeing all of the slides and the shows and everything that they were doing, and the buzz of everyone else around there. So really recommend getting to these conferences, because if you're serious about growing your business, it just makes such a big difference, that the inspiration and information you get from them. Anyway, look out for the emails from myself and from head office for the next ones, and hopefully we'll see you there soon. Let's get going. Bye for now.